Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming. My name is Hollow and today I'm talking a bit of Sunbreak. It's almost the new year, you know, and it's actually not that long before the Rise expansion. We're about half a year away now, and in the lead up to that, we've had a list of monsters already confirmed to be in that expansion. And also a good amount implied or even extremely likely. So let's take a look at the monsters coming in Sunbreak and talk about the ones we also think are likely. Starting with the confirmed and entirely new monsters then. Malzeno and Lunagaron, which you surely know about. Malzeno is the incredible, almost vampire-like monster we saw in the first Sunbreak trailer and is our new flagship monster. The massive wings that fold over the dragon like an iconic vampire cloak work like huge bat wings that have also this beautiful pinkish red on the insides, which we also see going up the neck in these large scales. It's got a pretty unique tail that has these three huge spikes and the two golden horns on its head, but there is a subtle pair of talons also found at the tips of the wings, which could be used maybe for a surprise attack of some kind. Overall, I like the design of this new Elder Dragon though, and it's a good sign actually that an Elder Dragon is the first new monster shown. Maybe you feel differently to me, but with high rank Rise, I felt that the challenge was mostly missing in that original launch. Steadily, we had improvements on that, but only a couple genuinely challenging monsters. As we go into Sunbreak, I expect that G rank, or you know, as it's now called, Master rank quality of monsters, giving us hopefully better challenge in the long run. Malzeno definitely fits that concept in my head as a big, scary, and new Elder Dragon with a cool design. Our second new monster then is obviously Lunagaron, shown in our more recent new trailer at the Game Awards. This ice wolf fills me with a lot of joy because I loved Odogaron, especially the ebony version. The angry puppy type just does something for me apparently. I just like them as a monster concept where you're fighting them at a high bouncy pace, and also their equipment designs are really cool generally too. Odo's had some of the coolest looking jewel blades I've ever seen. With the new wolf Lunagaron, I expect that, but hopefully even better. Design-wise, it's a familiar shaped wolf, but covered in these icy blue scales that are tipped with white. We've actually seen it grow these ice crystals during combat, so it can obviously generate those and fight using ice. In a way, that sounds like a wolf version of Velcana, which I'm not actually against. Naturally, we can expect a fast pace with this one and some more bouncy combat, but hopefully with some added mechanics and interest with the ice element. Perhaps you've noticed as well with these two new monsters, they're fitting that myth theme again. Just like the original Monsters of Rise, which were Eastern myth inspired, here we're seeing European myth inspired monsters. In the case of Malzeno, obviously you have the vampire, and then also in the case of Luna, well, we see a bit of a werewolf. I like this as a source of inspiration for your monster designs, so I've got high hopes for the other new monsters. Speaking of which, other new monsters, we did see a tiny glimpse of, well, this fluffy thing. At the start of the original Sunbreak trailer, just outside the castle entrance, were these fluffy goat things. A new small monster, which was confirmed on the official Monster Hunter Twitter, shown with some concept art. Whatever this small monster actually is called, we don't know, but it apparently hides its young in its long and fluffy tail. But imagine, like, actually dealing with that. Imagine brushing that. No thanks. Either way, unfortunately, that is it for our entirely new monsters so far, but we do have some returning monsters confirmed, with the Shogun Ceanataur. A sickle-style crab, of course. Rise is getting its first crab type in the form of the Shogun, revealed in a super short teaser trailer at the end of September. While it's nice to have a crab finally again, there's something different implied about the Shogun in Sunbreak specifically. Its speed, as it zips from existence, appearing suddenly behind this Ludroth so quickly it doesn't even know it's already dead. Should have watched JoJo. While yes, this is of course a trailer and maybe they just wanted to make a cool moment, you have to think about how Rise has changed a lot of the base monsters as we knew them to match the new wirebug movement we have in that game. Maybe the Shogun will have a new lightning quick sideways movement to get behind us suddenly as a sort of ambush style attack. Because we do have the Shogun Ceanataur confirmed though, that actually indicates the return of the small monsters, the regular Ceanataurs, which are essentially the baby version of the Shogun. It would be really, really weird to not see those included with the Shogun, so I would say that's a safe bet. So those are our 5 confirmed, but fortunately, we can also expect more than that already, with 7 potential and honestly pretty damn likely options we have. For example, the balloon shark, Zamtrios. I think it's fair to say we'd all love an updated version of the lovable balloon, but an updated Rise mechanic version would also be cool. The reason we expect Zamtrios is obviously how it was implied earlier by the Zamites already seen running around in Rise in general. Zamtrios would also fit in an ice region, and with the Lunagaron being an ice wolf, well, yeah, we know there's going to be one. Another possible and likely option though, the Agnaktor. The volcano-loving Leviathan would be another good monster to see return to the series in current gen, and would also make for an awesome challenge in Sunbreak, I'd say. After all, we saw tons of the Agnaktor in Rise, just like the Zamites, so hopefully Sunbreak gives us a chance to see this return. Here's one that would fit in the same region though. Gravios. Obviously, we've been fighting the big stony boys, the Basirios, in Rise, and Gravios is the natural progression of that monster. If we were to get another hot, lava-involved region in Sunbreak, well then both Agnaktor and Gravios would work perfectly there. I would also consider them a sort of higher tier of monster than the ones we generally saw in Rise, so would work in the expansion. But what about earlier monsters to challenge in Sunbreak? You know, some of the first ones will have our initial fights as we explore the new lands we're traveling to. Perhaps Great Jaggy. After all, we already have Jaggy in Rise as is, but not only that, we also have Great Roggy and Great Baggy as monsters you can fight. So why not complete that triangle in essence and add the Great Jaggy? It would make sense. We'll have to see though. But I would say the four I've just mentioned are very logical and likely to see in Sunbreak, but here's a few more that we might see. Another potential starting enemy in Sunbreak then would be Great JAGRAS. The first guy you sent to Hunt in World, it'd be nice to have a sort of fun callback and go slap him around again in Sunbreak. Obviously, we have plenty of JAGRAS to fight in Rise, so maybe a Great JAGRAS could make a humble return. Speaking of monsters we expected in Rise, but it did not happen yet, TETSUCABRA. Seriously, how did we not get a Tetsu in Rise? And also, in stories, by the way, we could fight them, but we couldn't ride them in the Riding Monsters game. Even though in Rise, we literally had the chief who was sat on a little baby Tetsu riding it. Absolute madness. Surely, though, surely we'll see a Tetsu in Sunbreak as perhaps an earlier monster to challenge, and maybe we'll get to wear that football player outfit again. Lastly, another maybe one. What about BULLDROME? Considering the Bullfango we see in Rise, a BULLDROME as a starter or early monster in Sunbreak could be viable. Not exactly exciting, but possible. But that's our list. 5 monsters that are confirmed, 3 of which are entirely new for the series with some interesting designs. They're doing God's work with all the new monsters in Rise overall, I'd say. They're incredible designs, the fun inspirations that also make me think about, what else would fit? What would be a good concept for a monster with these European myths as the inspiration? What would you go for? Maybe something like a basilisk, or maybe like ghost themed with the castle, such as maybe a banshee. And then also, of course, we had our 7 likely returning monsters, which do seem possible to us. But for now, that's everything. I hope this video was useful or at least interesting, so drop a like if it was. But until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.